one day she came and then she said, the Lord has been telling me that some people who are not human. And then the Lord showed her in a dream. She had seen a vision of the night where there were these women who were walking in the road, and then some of them were pregnant and they looked so human. They were talking, they were laughing, and then the Lord said, have you seen how human they are? They are not human, they are demons. Have you seen how human they look? It's all fake. And then the Lord began to reveal to her some people who are demons, even in our church. And then there's a certain family whom God revealed to her about them being demons, and the Lord had previously revealed to us about them being demons. So this is so real. And then one day, now this incident I want to share. So one day, the same lady, now her son got sick. She had a little boy, less than 10. He got so sick. So when he got so sick, they began to pray for him. As they were praying for him, he began to behave in a way as if he's pleading with someone and saying, no, please, no, have mercy on me, please, sister. And then they were shocked. He was calling the same person sister. And then he was saying, please, sister, have mercy on me. Sister, please don't kill me, don't kill me. So they began to pray in the name of Jesus and to rebuke whatever was attacking him. And then when they were done with the prayers, and then the boy was much better, they asked him about it, that whom are you seeing? Why were you talking like that? And then the boy said, I saw sister so and so, talking about the same lady whom God had revealed to me and my sister as a demon, and then it's the lady whom God had revealed even to his mom as a demon. And the boy didn't know anything. He didn't even know about the existence of demons. But God was proving a point. And so another incident I want to share. There's a certain lady who happens to be a pastor's wife. So this lady, when I knew her through my husband, every time she passed messages through my husband and say hi to Rachael, pass my regards. And then one day she even said, oh, I love Rachael, I really love your wife. I love her so much. And then I was shocked to hear that, because what used to happen is, whenever I'm with this lady, I would feel a certain resentment, a certain hateful force coming from her. And so I was shocked to hear that she loves me. And then I thought maybe I was wrong. So what happened? My husband was invited to go and preach at the ladies' church. So the very previous day, I was just getting ready to get in bed when I heard the voice of the Lord saying, do you know the reason why this woman keeps saying she loves you? And the Lord said, it's because she's a demon incarnate and she's scared that you're going to see her. So she wants to blind you with fake love so that you don't even think of looking at her to see who she is. Because the gift that the Lord has given us is when we look at people, we're able to tell who's human and who's a demon. Sometimes the Lord may not expose someone there and then, but then as time goes on, the Lord is going to expose them. And then other times, when we just meet someone and then the Lord just exposes them as demons, what happens is, we can physically, we can see them as humans, but then what happens, we begin to see them, like the Lord opens our spiritual eyes, and then we're able to see them inside and to see that this is a demon, because it's as if the Lord just takes down their cover and then you're able to see this is a demon, and then they kind of fail to completely fit in a human body, as if they are like shaking inside. It's really hard to explain, but it's a spiritual thing. I usually see them as if they're coming out of the body. They can't really fit in completely. So the Lord has been exposing them like that, and also sometimes the Lord will expose them in a vision. I moved into a house with my husband, So when we moved into that house, so I spent the whole night praying. And then as I was praying, my new landlady came in the spirit, you know. But what I saw was an animal. It was like this hideous monster, you know. It was short, with scales all over its body, and then red eyes, and some green stuff just drooling out of the mouth. It was just hideous, but it could walk on two legs and it didn't have any hair on the body. So I saw this hideous creature walking into my yard, and then it said, I am so and so, mentioning the name of my landlady. You know, so I was really shocked, like, what? I've just moved into this house and my landlady is a demon. And so I began to pray against it. And what happened was, the whole of that night I spent it battling with her, because I had all night prayer meetings. Or not prayer meetings, I had all night prayers. And I battled with her. She would come, sometimes in the way that she looked, in the human body, she would come, and then she was just doing a lot of things around the house, and then I would just pray against her. So experienced this demon so many times. I can't even begin to narrate each and every incident. Now, at the house where I'm living, a family which lives next door to us, the Lord revealed to us that they are demons. And then one day the Lord showed me a dream, and in the dream I saw the daughter, one of the daughters in this family, you know, and then she was seated outside with her sister, and then they were washing clothes. As they were washing, they were playing a worldly song on a phone. So there was this worldly song that was playing on the phone right next to them, and then they kept washing, you know, they kept washing. So their mom came out of the house, and then I was at my house. So when their mom came out of their house, her hair was relaxed, it was permed, and then it was extremely straight. So in the dream, you know, in the spirit you just become aware of things. In the dream, I became aware that she really wanted me to notice her hair in order to make me to feel like relaxing my hair. You know, these demons really know the truth. So she just wanted me to relax my hair or to blow it. She just wanted me to sin against the Lord. And then she had straightened her hair specifically for me. You know, so the girls were listening to music, and then as they were listening, the older one, you know, she's in high school. So the older girl spoke and said, for us, everything we do is a mission. Even when we listen to music, for us it's a mission. And then that's when I knew that they were actually playing those worldly songs at high volume in order to make me specifically, who was near them, to also listen to the song, so that I get defiled, so that those satanic lyrics keep playing in my mind. That was her mission. And so we had so many encounters. What I'm trying to say is these demons are everywhere, and they are real. They are in your schools, in your churches, everywhere. So as I was saying, sometimes some of them whom God has revealed, they are actors, actresses, musicians, you know, but then some of them are the people whom you can't even suspect, the people who are so committed in church, and yet it's a lie. It's all fake. They're not even born again, neither can they ever be born again, because they are not human beings. They are already doomed. Demons are doomed. Their doom has already been sealed. So even when they come in a human body, Jesus Christ did not die for them. All they are doing is wearing a mask to use to deceive humans. So there was this vision that the Lord showed me about how they pretend to be Christians. I saw a vision of a certain church, and then in the church there was a lady who happened to be like one of the church leaders. But then the Lord showed me that this woman was a demon. So I saw how influential she was in church. You know, she was involved in a lot of church activities, and I could see that a lot of women there really looked up to her, and they really wanted to be like her. The young women, the old, everybody just wanted to be like her because she was so influential in the church. And so what I noticed, what the Lord made me notice in the vision, she had painted, she put makeup, she had wigs in her hair, and then she dressed indecently, and then she even wore jewelry, and everybody would just copy her. You know, they would copy her. They would also go and put the wigs because they would look up to her and think like, oh, so this is okay. So they would do whatever she was doing, you know, because she was so committed, like a Christian, like a child of God. And then the Lord showed me what was actually happening in the spiritual realm. This woman was not a human being, but she was a demon. And then she was laughing at all those people she was deceiving. She would just laugh at them and then tell them about how foolish they are to follow her and just laugh. So that's what happened. That's what happens, you know. Everything they do is to deceive people, to make sure people somehow end up in hell. Sometimes they pretend to be Christians, but they'll always find the way they deceive someone right in the church. That's what they do. There's a certain man who happens to be a family friend of ours. That is a family friend of our family. Like he was my brother's friend, and then he was introduced to my parents and my siblings and I, and he began coming home. He would even spend nights, days with us at home, you know. And then every time he would want to be reading the Bible, reading books about God. I remember even my parents would say, oh, this is a real child of God. He would always be so humble, you know, in how he would behave or act out. Nothing seemed to give him away, you know. And then he even wanted to marry me. But then the Lord protected me. And then I had this certain, I had this feeling as if something was really pushing me away from him, you know, like as if he had this negative force coming from him, like just pushing me away. And then looking back now, I can see that's the Lord's protection on me, you know. So what this man did, he would pretend to be Christian so much, you know. He even became like an assistant pastor at a certain church. He would preach, he would talk about God all the time. And then the Lord revealed to me that this man is a demon. And then in one of the visions that I saw of him, I was sleeping. I was actually sleeping, and then I had even put a mosquito net. And then I saw this man coming and flying. He wanted to possess me. He came in his demonic form, and then I could tell this is the man, you know. And then he came, and then he would fly, and then he wanted to land in a way that he gets in me to possess me, but then he would miss. Like I saw him coming the first time, he landed just right next to me, and he did this 3 times and he missed, and it was the Lord's protection. So the Lord wanted to show me he's a real demon who can even possess a human being. And there was another person, and then this man, you know, pretended to know God, and yet it was all pretense. And then there's someone else I met on Facebook, because I've been sharing the Lord's messages on Facebook. So there was, on Facebook, the Lord has shown me several people who are not human as well, even there. So now this time, there's a certain man who had shown interest in our testimonies. He was from Nigeria. And then he added me on his page. And then he even wanted to start organizing for a crusade, saying I need to go to Nigeria to share on the Lord's messages. You know, he really did everything to make me believe how zealous he was for God. But then one night, I was sleeping in my house. And then suddenly my spiritual eyes opened. I could see outside my house. I could tell it was night time. I could see the stars. I could see it was dark outside. And I could see myself lying down there. And then I saw a creature flying at top speed. You know, it just came flying like, woo. So as it flew towards me, the Lord told me, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, have you seen this demon? This is so and so, and mentioned the name of this person whom I had met on Facebook, and said, this is so and so. This is who he really is, and he wants to possess you. And then he came, and then he thought he could possess me, but then the Lord prevented him, and then he didn't manage to. So we've had so many encounters. We've had so many encounters. Now let me just share the last experience with you before I go on to why they are here. As I went to evangelize, I had made some tracts which I was sharing with people whom I would meet and talk to. So I saw a certain girl, she just looked like a normal girl, a young lady. She looked like she was in college, and then she was walking in the road. So as she was walking in the road, I thought like, oh, let me share with her as well. Now, the moment I got close to her, I sensed this demonic presence so strong. I had goosebumps all over me. It was so demonic. I had goosebumps all over me, and I felt a very cold chill. And then I could feel this, this demonic energy emanating from her. And then the Lord told me that she's a demon. I was so shocked. She looked very human. When I tried to give her the tract, and then she said, no, I don't believe in hell. What's that? Where is hell? And then that's the time when God had just revealed her, She was like, where is hell? And then I was so shocked. In my heart, I said to myself, like, where is hell? You've just come from hell. And then you're telling me you don't know hell exists, And then she was so scared. And then she wanted to wait and see which way I would use, which path I would use when evangelizing, so that she goes the other way. And then, just this demonic energy, as if it's some sort of heat that you can see coming out of her body, all over her body, And yet she looked just like a normal girl. So they really do exist. If I was to just share all the experiences, we experience them and we encounter them every time we go out, because the Lord has given us this gift where we're able to see them, and the Lord wants his children to have this gift. He wants you to be able to see them so that you're not going to be deceived. So the reason why they are here is because God has allowed it. Nothing happens which God has not allowed. So the fact that they are here is because God has allowed it, and it's for a purpose. Because we must all be tested, severely tested. And in order, we must all be tested before we enter the kingdom of God. And then they come here in the physical, and they come here, they want to, it's not God who has sent them in the first place, it's the devil. The devil has sent them, but God has allowed it. He has allowed it because we must be tested, how faithful we can be. And the Lord gave my sister a vision where during the time of the mark of the beast, and then the demon incarnates were pretending to be human as we are, and then they would at first do as if they don't want to get the mark of the beast, and then they would easily give in and get the mark in order to discourage people, so that the real humans will be like, oh, my friend just got the mark, let me also get it, And so they are here. What they do is they set trends. That's what they do. Satan just gives them commands. They come here, they set trends. People are going to say, oh, I can do this, I can wear this, I can use this because my pastor's wife does the same, because this lady is a pastor, she's a woman of God, and she does that. How do you know if she's not a demon? That's the question. God is exposing them because he wants you to know that you're not supposed to follow a human being. Follow Jesus Christ. Jesus is the only way to the Father, not your pastor, not your pastor's wife, not your pastor, not an evangelist, not anybody, Jesus Christ. So they come here, and then they're going to be doing certain things because they know that people will learn from them. The world is at such darkness simply because of the existence of these demon incarnates. I'm telling you, because they have introduced a lot of satanic things which humans have ignorantly adopted, and yet they're from the pits of hell. So they'll teach you like it's normal to lie. When they befriend your children, that's why the Lord really wants us Christians to really rise up in prayer. We need to pray for our children. We need to pray even for ourselves. These demons exist. The fact is, whether I tell you about it or not, they do exist. And so I'm telling you, in order for you to know what to do, you need to pray for your children. When they befriend your children, you're going to think, oh, these are just kids playing. It's your child playing with a demon, and that demon wants your child in hell. You can imagine what satanic things they're going to teach them. You're going to find from a young age, children learn immorality. They learn abominable things, insults. Demons are here. They're doing all sorts of missions. Not everybody who insults is a demon, of course. Not everybody who does this and that thing is a demon. But there are some demon incarnates specifically sent to make such things look normal. And you can't tell them by looking. They are demon incarnates who have been sent to preach half-truth, so that the true children of God, the ministers of God, will think, oh, if I preach the truth, I'm not going to fit in. And yet the place where you want to fit in, those are demons from hell. God doesn't want you to fit in. You must preach the truth. Don't please a human being. You're going to find that the people whom you wanted to please were actually just demons. They will make being a true child of God look foolish. They will mock you. They will do all sorts of things. They are so disguised. Their missions are so many, Some of them will sometimes some of them will even be as if they're being persecuted with you, and yet they have another mission, It's just really hard to explain all their missions, but the fact is they are here. And the reason why they are here is to take people to hell. They will pretend to be Christians, others will be so abominable, but they are here. Some will just seem like just some people whom you may think may not really matter, but they are working. They have spiritual powers. They are not human. They're able to communicate without even opening their mouth. They can communicate with each other in the spirit, talking about you, and you're right there and discussing you. You're just a mission to them. This is the reason why before you get married, pray and ask God for guidance, because you don't want to marry a demon incarnate. They can never love you. They just want you in hell. So Jesus Christ is coming soon. And the reason he wants you to know about these demons is don't follow a human, and learn to live and walk in the spirit, because these are the last days. The battle has gotten so intense. They want every human soul in hell. They can pretend to be helping you, and yet they're just looking for a way of how they can lead you to hell. What they do is sometimes they will befriend you, and then they will always make sure they lead you to hell somehow. They can try to make you too busy to pray, or try to bring gossip into every conversation, depending on what their mission is. But we need to pray so that we don't befriend these demons. And then when God reveals to you that someone is a demon, you need to stay away from them, because they are enemies of God. And there's no way you as a child of God should be friends with an enemy of God. So we need to walk in the spirit. This is the time to depend on God like never before. These demons don't care. And then you're going to think like, oh, I want to be like my friends. How do you know they are not even demons, Just follow Jesus. They are doomed. They really envy being human. That's the truth. But they can never be forgiven. So God wants you to know them. They are here. They are living among us. This is the fact. Whether I tell you about it, I don't tell you about it, the fact is they are here and they are already working. We need to pray more than ever before. We need to depend on Jesus more than ever before, because God will not allow us to be tested in a way that's more than we can overcome. He only allows that which we are able to overcome. So this is the time to seek the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and depend on Jesus. Do not follow a human. I'm pleading with you not to follow a human. Don't say, this is my pastor. Seek the Lord on your own. It's your soul. Your pastor is not going to go with you when you go to hell. Even if you tell God, my pastor told me this is fine, that's not going to matter to God. You need to seek the Lord on your own. Let God be your friend. Let him be able to tell you, oh, my daughter, my son, do this, don't do this, do this. Yes, let God be your guide. not a human being, because you're going to find yourself following a demon. God bless you.